Hello, everyone, and welcome to Or This. This is my chance to reflect upon the theme from the Sunday that just passed, which was the second Sunday of Advent, and it was December 6th. The scriptures that we had for the second Sunday in Advent were from Isaiah chapter 40, verses 1 through 11. The psalm was Psalm 85, verses 1 to 2, and verses 8 through 13. And the gospel was from Mark chapter 1, verses 1 through 8. What I'd like to talk about is the fact that, and I mentioned this during the sermon, is that we have the very beginning part of Mark's gospel. It's Mark chapter 1, verse 1. We don't often get that from the Gospels as they appear in our Sunday worship each week, so I took special note of that fact. But part of the reason I want to take note of that fact is because of the very beginning phrase, or the very beginning sentence of the Gospel of Mark, which is the beginning of the good news of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And that's probably not too remarkable. Makes sense. It's chapter 1, verse 1. Of course, it's the beginning. But I would say that this sentence is describing everything that follows it. So it's not just talking about the first sentence or the first couple verses after that. When it says the beginning of the good news of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, that sentence introduces the whole 16 chapters of Mark's Gospel. It begins the whole story of Jesus' life that is told in Mark's Gospel. The first phrase says, the beginning of the good news of Jesus Christ. And so we can say that the whole story of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection is just the beginning of the good news of Jesus Christ. What does that mean for us then? Well, it means that if Jesus' life is just the beginning, that means there's more to come. That means that there's more of a story to unfold. That means that the good news was just getting started, taking hold in this world in Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, and that the good news was going to do even more after Jesus' life, death, and resurrection in this world. Of course, we believe because of Christ's resurrection from the dead that Christ is alive, that Christ is with us, present in our lives. And so, while the beginning of the good news happened while Jesus walked this earth, the continuation of the good news of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, occurs as the risen Christ is among us today. And so, in our lives, in the world around us, the good news of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, is still writing its story. Is still writing its story in our lives. And so we're invited to think about the ways that the good news impacts our hearts and impacts the way we live out our lives. What does it mean to us? And what does it do through us in our relationships with others and in what we do with others? And then, what is the good news of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, doing in the world today? We certainly are in the midst of a very difficult time in the world with COVID-19. I don't have to tell you that. Some people are struggling financially because of layoffs. A lot of people are struggling because of natural disasters that have happened over the past year. And of course, many people have lost loved ones, not just to COVID, but also to other ailments. Of course, that is something that happens throughout our lives, regardless of whether we're in a pandemic or not. But in these kinds of times, we're invited to think about and wonder and look for the ways in which the good news of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, is continuing to write the story of God's work in the world. Jesus' life in this world, walking on the earth, was just the beginning. So how is that work continuing around us now? So that's some thoughts. Those are some thoughts for you on this second Sunday of Advent. I invite you to share your comments, your thoughts in the comments, either here on YouTube or on our Facebook, in our Facebook post where this appears. You can share your thoughts about the sermon itself. You can share your thoughts about this video. You can share any questions that you might have. But I am grateful that you watched. So God bless you this week.